Hi guys, welcome back to the Codefreak channel. Freak out as you code. So today we'll be discussing a lot about objects. So let's go right into it and look at what objects are as such in JavaScript. So I have made a HTML file here and I have linked the JavaScript file. So if you want to learn how to link, actually you can just see this and do it. So now let's go ahead and let's get started. So this is the page the page which I have opened up on the browser. Okay, so first of all, what is an object? So objects are associative arrays as such, and with special features. So there are many special features associated with it. So you have something called a key and you have something called a value. So they store properties in such a manner with it's called a key value pair. And so this is something which you need to keep in mind. I'll show you as we go ahead. So then you have property keys must be strings or symbols. It's usually strings, and the value can be of any type. So this is something which we need to keep in mind. So let's create an object right now. Okay, so you can just use lead, and then so the object boilerplate, first I'll show you that. So I'll just call it object, and you can put equal to, use the curly braces. All right, so that is something new which you have to kind of remember. All right, and then you have the key here like this, and then you have the value. So you can put in any value here, right? So key should be in the form of a string, and the value can be any of the 8 data types. You can use it directly. So that's how this works. All right, so let me just comment it out. You can have as many keys and values here. So let me just create an object called person. All right, so I'll equate it to this particular thing. So there are many ways of doing it. I'll just do it this way. So let's give a name. So first name, so let's give a first name. All right, so let's call it maybe John. Okay, and you have to put a comma here, and then the last name. All right, and then you can put Smith maybe. This is one of the most common names which people keep using in coding, so that's why I've just chosen this. So you can have some more properties like maybe address, yeah, right? So in the address property, you can maybe have it as a another what you call another object. So maybe you can give a line 1 of the address. So line 1, maybe the first line will have some door number, maybe something like hash 34, something like that. And then you can have a line, you can have a line 2, so you may have some street name, right, something like that, have some code with respect to that. So yeah, you can have that, some code. Let me just put in something there. And then you may even have a, you will have a place, right, a town or city or whatever. So yeah, let me just put in London for now. So you can add on and go ahead and add on some more features. So the code is actually a number, right? So you don't need to put it as a string. You can put it as a number. That also works, right? Maybe you may need his phone number. So let me add in that also. All right. So let's give it a number. So I'll just do that. I hope that's a, yeah, one more letter. That's kind of a valid number, right? So then you can have a boolean also. Employed, so that can be true or false. So I'll just have a boolean to show you that you can store actually anything in this. Okay, we'll have an hobbies array. So yeah, so maybe it's a dancing, so that's one hobby. And then coding, obviously. I mean, I don't know why I said obviously, but then maybe something like let's go for one more, maybe reading. Yeah, reading novels, stuff like that you can have. Okay, so yeah, this is as much as we can go ahead. So this is an object, right? This is an object named person which has so many properties. So you can actually see that you have stored a number data type, you have stored an employed data type, you have stored even strings here, right? So this is some way which we can actually make this happen. All right, so now let's actually go ahead and look at it in terms of how to access this variables as such, these parts as such. Okay, so let's look at the properties. So we have the dot notation and we have the square bracket notation for accessing these. So let me first do console.log the person. Okay, so that should give us a good idea of how it's stored in the array, the memory. Okay, so there's some unexpected identifier somewhere. So let's see what's the error. 15th line, employed true. Put a comma here, so that's important. Just remember that. So you got the whole thing here, right? So you have the first name, you have the last name, you have all things here, right? And then this is an array, so it shows you that also 0 1 2 3, and then here you can see the code line, so you can basically look around and play around with this, access the elements inside this. Okay, so maybe I want to say John Smith. So how do you do that? You can do person dot first name, right? That should actually work out. So if I just save it and then refresh it here, you will get John here, right? Then you can even put person dot last name. That also kind of works out. No, it's capital L. Let me change this to small l because it's always good to use that kind of a format. So you got Smith, right? So like that you can actually access these direct things. So employed, if you put, you'll get true as of now. So employed, you can save it and you can look at it. Yeah, so it's true, right? So now let's say we want to access this line 2 here. All right, so no, maybe code, because we have accessed this things. Okay, let me do that. So how do you do it? You just use address, you type in their address dot line 2, right? So now you'll get street there. So you got street, right? So that's how this whole thing works as such. So you can also do, say you want to take the phone number. So I'll show you one more way of actually using this. You can use the square brackets as you did in the array. So just put ph number, they put it as a string, so then only it works. Yeah, now you can check it out. See, it shows the number that we had put here, right? So this is another way of choosing and finding out all these things. So now let's see how we can actually change the data. So say I want to change the phone number, so you can just copy this same thing. You can do it either of the way using the dot operator, which that is more common actually. So something like that maybe. So now you'll see that the phone number has actually changed to that particular number, right? Say you want to copy this whole thing and paste it somewhere else, or make a new object with the same items and stuff like that. So maybe you can do that also. So let's create a variable called person2. So you can just do equal to person1. Yeah, just person. So actually if you console.log person2, see what happens. It has same details, but you can see that even though this is something very nice which you can actually see, we have changed for the person1, we have changed the number. We have not done that for person2, but you can see that even for the person2 also it's changing the number. Why? This is a very important concept. Actually I had explained it in one of the sessions previously also, but I'll go through it again. So what happens is, since here the pointer or the memory address of where this whole thing is stored in memory is being assigned to a new variable, right? So think you have your data stored over here. All right, so all your data is stored in one place in a memory location, right? So now you have a variable called person and you have a variable called person2. So the person is pointing to this memory. So when you do person2 equal to person1, what happens is this memory address is being stored here, or what in the better way of putting it is the memory is assigned to this. So if you can change whatever is there here through this and through this. So this is called copy by reference. That is something which you can actually keep in mind, which is really important. Now say you want to create a new memory location and copy these things and store it in a new memory location. So you can do that also. So let me do that now. So you can do object dot assign. So this is the These are the keywords which you can actually use. And then inside that you have two parameters. You can do it this way, and the name of whatever you want to copy, right? So like this is the format which you can use. Now you will see that this wouldn't have changed here, right? See that? Yeah, see, it has not changed because you have created a new thing. Only if you make this person 2, then it changes. Person 1, it doesn't change, but in the previous case it's not like that, right? So these are some things which you can actually keep in mind with respect to the objects. So now there is something called garbage collection. So memory management, as I was talking about the memory, say the whole program is over, so will it still be stored in the memory? No. So automatically and invisibly it actually deletes and does all that in JavaScript, so don't need to worry about all that. So you have actually some more properties like optional chaining, which is a recent addition, so you can actually check it out. That you can check out that also. Then there is this operator, which is also very important, so you can do that also. These are some things with respect to the object that I wanted to talk to you about in this video. Maybe we will look at objects in more detail in the functions chapter, so don't worry about it. So that's it for this videos, guys. So hope you enjoyed it.